Calls for police reform in California following the death of George Floyd in Minneapolis. California's Attorney General Javier Becerra recently released a list of recommended policy changes for departments to improve use of force procedures. They include banning chokeholds, carotid restraints, encouraging de-escalation in volatile situations, and discontinue the use of certain canine techniques. KION's Alicia Machado found out how Salinas police are addressing the proposals here.
The Salinas police chief tells me the department already had policies in place that aligned with the AG's recommendations before they were released, but implementing changes to canine biting policies could be challenging. Police department policies in question following the death of George Floyd and public outcry during protests.
I'm going to speak up and take action. This moment demands it. The people of our state demand it.
California Attorney General Javier Becerra is calling on police departments to implement reforms aimed at improving use of force procedures and increasing accountability. Among the most controversial, calls to ban chokeholds and carotid restraints. Salinas Police Chief Adel Frese says it's part of the department's policy that they won't use carotid hold as a regular use of force option, but only as an alternative to lethal force.
If an officer gets in a situation where they have to use deadly force, and other means are not necessarily available or appropriate, and the carotid is something accessible to the officer, it can be used.
There's also a proposal to stop the use of police canine biting techniques. It's confrontations like this one in San Diego in February that some people now want police departments to avoid. The dog biting a suspect as police move in to make an arrest. The AG recommends implementing find and bark or circle and bark techniques, where canines alert officers by barking rather than biting a suspect as a first response. But there could be some challenges with this approach.
Simply because it's a training issue. Many of the existing dogs have not been trained to circle and bark.
I spoke with a Salinas PD sergeant who is a previous canine handler. He says the department's canines are only trained to bite and hold or help locate suspects, but they have to warn suspects before they deploy them.
We give the suspects an opportunity to surrender themselves peacefully before the canine is deployed.
Chief Frese says they are going to continue using canines because they are very effective, but says that they will comply with the AG's recommendation to give warning first. In Salinas, Alicia Machado, KION News Channel 546.